Welcome back to my channel, Jamie from Colors. I'm Jamie, and today we are doing week 2 of our Melting Mondays, which is our encaustic play. Encaustics are wax, and so that's what I'm painting with today. This is something I'm just learning, and so I don't feel comfortable really teaching you too much about what I'm doing, but I'm just trying different techniques that I'm reading in different books that I'll link in the description box down below. But yeah, so you're just kind of along for my learning journey. So this piece of wood I have prepared with joint compound and let it completely dry. And then I sanded it, and now I'm putting, after it completely dries, you sand it, and then I'm putting a couple layers of encaustic medium, which is just a clear beeswax and dimmer. And every time I put wax or a color or something on, I do have to fuse it. So that's what I'm doing with the heat gun, is you heat it up till it's just shiny, and that fuses it to the layers underneath. And so every time I put on another layer, I have to go back to my heat gun and fuse it. So that's kind of what's happening so far. Sorry it's off in the corner. It won't be for very long. It was just my pot of clear encaustic medium that I couldn't move any closer to me, and so I needed to move my board over there to just kind of get this few layers down, because I want to do, I think it's called incising, where I am actually like carving into the wax a little bit, and so I need some layers of wax. And there my lid got stuck because it had wax on it and cooled and stuck. Okay, so now I'm taking a white encaustic, and I'm putting a few layers of that on, and yeah, every time I put a layer on, I have to fuse it. So that's what I'm doing there. And I'm getting a piece of brush out because I do use natural bristled brushes so that they don't melt in the heat of the wax. Now there is a cookie cutter. These were cookie cutters I found on Amazon, and they're tiny. I don't know who's making cookies that are this tiny, but because my board is 6 by 6 inches, so these are tiny cookie cutters, and these are the biggest cookie cutters in the pack of cookie cutters that I bought. So I don't know who's making cookies this small, but it actually works pretty well for the size of encaustics I was working on. So it was a good purchase for me, but I don't know who's making cookies this small. All right, I just kind of made a mark that I didn't want, so I'm just kind of pushing the wax around to kind of fill in that gap that I didn't want. And now I'm making some more marks in the wax. I don't know. I had really no plan. This is more just play and figuring out what happens when I do make these marks in the wax, and how deep do I need to go, and how what kind of materials are best to fill in those gaps, you know. So it's just a way for me to practice what I'm reading in these books and see what works for me and what I like and what I don't like. So this is what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing right here. Come on, woman, get back to work. All right, well, I've done this voiceover a couple of times because my husband called and I couldn't figure out my headphones and what I was hearing. Oh, it was a mess. So I am still kind of playing with this as well. So I hope the audio is good and you can hear me, but I'm not like blaring in your ear, because that would not be nice of me. So I hope that it's working really well. So after I've cut into the wax, I have to let it cool completely so that the wax doesn't move and fill in those holes again. So I have to let it cool. So there's been a little bit of a break, and now the wax is cool enough to work with again. So I am going to play with oil sticks of oil paint, and so I'm putting on some gloves. These are nitrate gloves because I don't do well with latex. I didn't want rashes and sores on my hands. So using some nitrate gloves, and I just get them at the Home Depot store, hardware store. Same with the wood and the joint compound. I mean, the Home Depot is one of our favorite places. So I'm noticing this is the first time I'm playing with these wax or these oil sticks, and there's like a little wax film on them, so you have to scrape that away to get to the oil paint. So that's what I was doing there, and then I'm just scribbling it on. This is black. I didn't know what colors to do. We've done black and white, so I thought, well, maybe I'll kind of stick with black and white and throw in a blue or something. I don't know. I wish I'd played with some different colors. I don't know. Maybe I need to get some fun, vibrant colors. But this is working, so I'm just scribbling it on and then using my gloved hand to smear that oil paint around to get it all nice and in the crevices and in the texture of the wax. And yeah, now I'm taking a paper towel and removing as much of the oil paint as I can so that those crevices and the texture will stand out. I don't know. I think I need a smoother paper towel or something. I don't know. I was struggling a little bit with this. I've also heard of people using like a vegetable oil or something to help remove the wax. I'm gonna have to read up on that and see if that's okay to use and if you can put more layers of wax over the top of that, or if that's something you should just do at the end. Right now I'm not sure, so I just used a paper towel. I don't necessarily like the way that this painting turns out in the end, but I do love some of the things I learned while doing it. So yeah, you know, I'm still trying. I'm like, okay, a new cleaner piece of paper. Let's see if we can get a little more. I do like the blue texture that I'm getting up above, and I do like how that black did fill in those carvings, and we do have those showing up. So I do like that. I wish I could have gotten some of the wax a little bit cleaner or not stained as much, but I'm not sure how to go about doing that yet. Okay, because we did put color on, even though we haven't put more wax on, we've put color, so we have to heat it up and fuse it in. So we're just heating it to where it's shiny, and then we're getting more wax on to fuse a little bit. All right, so that kind of like puts those carvings into the background, and I touched my thing and I put a couch in it. I wasn't too happy about it, but I was like, oh well, we're just gonna move on. So I just put some more wax there, kind of filled it in, and we moved on. So my camera cut out, but I did carve out another line. So I did go ahead and put more oil paint over that. Of course, we let it dry all the way and then put more of the oil paint stick. And I decided, let's put some more blue in there. See if we, just have a little more blue up at the top. So went ahead and did that as well. You can still see the square and the triangle down there, but not as well. I don't know. Said I don't love the way this piece is, but I do love the things I learned while doing it. More of the clear, just building up. Because this time I want to go in and carve quite a thick line out. And this is what I really, really loved doing. Now, I do wish that I had used a straight edge. And so the next time I do this, because I'm going to do this again, because I do love the technique and the idea of it, but I wish I had used a straight edge. So I'm scraping all the way through all those wax layers back down to the joint compound. And so it's quite a thick cut. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to take blue encaustic wax, and I am overfilling the cuts that I put in there. So it's kind of messy right now, like it looks messy, but then we let it dry completely and cool completely. Sorry, not dry, but cool completely, making So we'll have a little break and I'll let it cool and then I'll come back. And now I'm using a razor blade to scrape away all the excess wax. And this took me quite a while, but I love the idea and how it kind of turned out looking. Like I said, I wish I had used a straight edge and really made those lines really clean. And so next time I will. But I loved how the wax, colored wax, filled it in and just the look that it gave it. So kind of what I learned there. This was a process to get all this extra wax off, and I've really sped this up. I'm hoping I sped it up fast enough we don't have to watch it for too long here. But see how it just has that nice color there. I just really like it. So this is something I will definitely try again and try with straight edge or different shapes and yeah, really give it to me. So now I'm just trying to clean it up a little bit. And yeah, there it is. Now I'm just trying to polish it a little bit. But there it is. It's like I said, I don't completely love the way it looks. I wish those triangles and squares down there popped a little more. I wish maybe I had used brighter colors, maybe not the black. But I love what I learned, and so I am grateful for this piece. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and I will see you guys next time.